Yeah, I'm not playing Stoneforge Mystic. I think you could play Stoneforge Mystic. Maybe if you are a Yorion deck, that's when you can fit it in. If you wanted to play this deck as a Yorion deck, which you might. Kind of want to go Temple Garden Basic Island. That's a bit better than getting basic planes with this. I suppose we could also go Hallowed Fountain Forest. We have more double blue and double white. Okay. I'm just going to play Wall of Omens here. Love to start hitting some lands. We may end up pathing my own wall this game. Yeah, wall plus Stoneforge Mystic is a bit awkward. Oh, this is Nikachu. Awesome. Love Nikachu. Opponent reveal the Lord of Atlantis. Well, I'm not that interested in bouncing the Silvergale Adept, of course, with Teferi, so I think I'm just going to pass it back. Remand this. Getting a Skyclave in play seems pretty good. Not sure that this is better than being a bit more mana efficient with Venser, though. Another Silvergale. Looks like plus Lord of Atlantis. Kind of fine. Let's go to Teferi, see if they force this. They don't. Bounce Lord of Atlantis, hold up path, or remand if we drew a land. I'm going to take this trade. I think no. I think if we draw an Ephemerate, this is going to be really good to have in play. So let's see where this Lord of Atlantis attacks, or the Silvergale attacks. They're attacking Teferi. I think I'm going to path it. Maybe it's better to... Yeah, I think it's fine to path the Adept and keep the Teferi around. Cool. Yeah, let me just like hold up Cryptic Command to keep Teferi around again. This way, if we draw a land, we get to go plus Teferi, Time Warp, minus Teferi, and get another card out of this, which seems good to me. I do want my second white source. I'm gonna go counter tap. Who is Nikachu? Nikachu is another content creator who, is well known for playing Merfolk. We do lose the Teferi to this Mutavault, I guess. Not the end of the world. Yeah, so I guess they went over the Prairie stream is because they just had another Spreading Season hand. Right on time, Force of Negation. I'll just try to slow things down a bit. Would love to find a land and just remand something this turn too. Cool. That's another white source too. Get a basic plains. No. I'll get a double green for Uro and remand this. Although our life total is maybe in jeopardy, we'll see. Yeah, they got 11 points of power here. Although if we can Skyclave a Lord and then like maybe Venser bounce the other one, we can get some blocks in. Puts me down to 6, kills the Teferi. I think I'd like to play Explore here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get a tap breeding pool, then a basic plains with this Heath. And the Explorer lets me oh, interesting. So do I want a Skyclave plus Venser, or do I want to just Uro plus Skyclave? I think it's Skyclave plus Venser. And then Uro plus Uro Escape next turn. Though they just violate the Lord anyway, so we don't have to bounce the Lord, you know. They can bounce the Mutavaults. You know, you can see how their play goes. We know we did not beat the Ozolith deck, so did not get the 5-0. Playing around Cryptic by going to combat here. They probably don't have the Venser read. You are right that if we bounce the Lord, they just violate back in. So I think we're dead. Not dead. Not dead yet. Have to bounce the Mutavaults. They've already played a land, so at least we don't have to worry about the Mutavault for next turn. Oh, dang it. Merfolk had another Lord? Oh my gosh. Close game. I don't think that if Venser gained us more life than Uro would. I don't think we had it out there. Veil of Summer stops Spreading Seas. Stops any counter spells they can have. The removal spells are good too, I think. Ariok Champion is interesting just like as a life gain spell, but probably not something I'm super interested in. I think I'm going to cut the Time Warp. Play the second Venser too. This looks pretty good to me. We could Uro if we get plains. We just tap the plains for the front half of Uro, right? We had triple green, I think. I mean, I just have they kind of hardwired into my brain, Thalia. But I do know Nikachu is a he. Just a force of habit. Balin stopping Island Maker. I mean, it also cantrips, and they will play some amount of counter spells, and they will it also stops Spreading Seas. Feels good enough to me. Yeah, treble decks do seem tough, although Skyclave Apparition plus Ephemerate does seem really good against them. But that's like the kind of draw you have to have, maybe. We also have 6 1-mana removal spells. Alright, I think that I am not very likely to want to path very early, so I'll play the Vista on turn 1. Ice-Fang also seems good against tribal decks, too. So we can go Ice-Fang this turn, then it'll have Death Touch. Let me see if Nikachu brain farts here and doesn't attack. I think that this is kind of like a... This is the kind of play that some people go, oh, of course, I guess we have they have Island Walk, never mind. But I can see some people just like forgetting and not attacking here. I do want to play this so we have Death Touch. Yeah, definitely less good when they have Island Walk. I will probably cycle this Veil of Summer basically no matter what this turn. Okay, so now next turn we can go Ice-Fang and maybe Path the Lord. Shane is streaming. That's cool. I was in Shane's stream last night for a bit. Maybe this is a bad time to cast Path. Dude, the Bant I would love to see a Bant Trio. There's so many decks I've played that desperately want to have it. Okay, they have a Cavern, actually. Yeah, let me, instead of playing holding up Cryptic, I'm just going to go Wall and then Witness back Path, probably. Yeah. And then I think we can attack with one Ice-Fang if we want to. We did not get the 5-0. We lost to Hardened Scales. They revealed a Master with their Silver Gale, so they do have the ability to Island Walk here and hit us for 7 down to 3. It seems like Nikachu is considering doing something else, though. I think the Junda Triome and the... Yeah, kind of weird to not see that happen. Okay, just going to pass back. I'll attack with the Witness. Pretty happy to trade it with any of these cards. Gonna leave the snakes at home. Maybe just wanted to wait. I mean, we're tapped out, so I'm not sure like why you'd want to wait on the Lord if the thinking is I might have a counterspell. Yeah, I'm kind of confused. I'm just trying to figure out what this means they have. Taps both Caverns. Really weird. Maybe a counterspell of some kind, but we can maybe win if they don't have 2. If Shane is still streaming at the end of my stream, I'll raid him. That's also maybe a long time to go. I want my opponent to attack with everything before I path the Lord, because, of course, if I path the Lord, they won't attack. They know we have this path, so they very clearly have at least one counter spell, but do they have 2? That's going to be probably what this game comes down to. Kind of feels like Nikachu doesn't have it. What is the name of Shane's stream? Let me pull it up for you guys. I love Shane. Alright, no attacks. I think it's just the dive down Shane. Yeah. What do we want to do? Alright, they know we have this path. I think we're on path now, and like they kind of have to. They maybe have to fight over this, and then I kind of want to, fight over it. Cast my Cryptic, Nice. Alright. While my opponent clearly doesn't have a counter spell, I'm going to go get Prairie Stream, Ephemerate my Witness, get back Path. How's it going, Fran? Good weekend? All right, this lock is going to be very difficult for my opponent to fight through. Now I don't want to trade Witness. Long weekend, but good. Yeah, same here. I cashed all the showcases, but I didn't top 8 any of them. So it went okay. Kind of want to just fire off this Cryptic. I don't know, maybe Copter is bad because I have all these Ice-Fangs. I played Modern, Pioneer, and Legacy, and I cashed all of them. I didn't play very well in the Modern one. I was not very happy with my play, honestly. But I cashed all of them, at least. Nice to hit my land drop. Can get in for 1. Yeah, I was pretty exhausted from from last week, but I feel very refreshed and focused today. Feeling good. And it's because Esther has bought me a sweater and I am coated with love and warmth. Maybe I'm supposed to get back a land. Kind of in garbage time, though. I have the full play set of Ice-Fangs in play. We could path our own Wall of Omens to get all the Ice-Fangs a little bit closer together, but let's not do that just yet. Yeah, I definitely think you can build this deck with Yorion. And I've been putting a lot of thought into this list lately. There's a million ways you can build it. I'm not sure that we have the best version necessarily, but I think we have a good working, kind of 1.0 draft. This deck seems really fun, at least, and seems very, at least, like, good enough to pick up and play. Hard to say exactly how good this deck is going to be going forward. Especially when we're just in, 1.0. He was supposed to go after the Vial. I think I'll just Venser, bounce the Vial. If the Venser resolves. Or, no, I'll bounce the Illusion token. Kind of a nice one to wrap the game up. Go, my Ice-Fangs, go! Do I single or double sleeve my paper decks? Depends on the deck, I guess. Usually single sleeve, I think. But it's been a long time since I've even had a full paper deck together, honestly. Alright, they are dead to my attack here. What is the primary difference between this and the other Ephemerate decks I've been playing that would make it call it 1.0? I mean, this is just like a hard control deck, where... Maybe hard control deck isn't quite accurate, but this is a control deck where other variants I've been playing aren't. If that makes sense. Other decks are more like creature decks. I, of course, refuse to use the word tempo. But this is a control deck. And I mostly have been... I've played decks like this in the past, but before Skyclave Apparition came out. I think Skyclave Apparition is the perfect card for this deck, but just figuring out the mana base and the other spells you play around it has been very difficult for me. I've been spending a lot of time trying to figure it out, and I just have finally today feel like it's come together well enough for the stream. And really the card that kind of tied it together for me was Mystic Gate. The fact that it helps your Cryptics and Skyclaves while also letting your basic planes cast Uro, I think is like just kind of is what I needed to figure out to make the mana base work. It also helps Ariok Champion in the sideboard. I don't like the word tempo. No, I think the word tempo has like lost most of its meaning in Magic. People think that tempo means Spell Pierce and Force of Will, every spell that targets their Delver of Secrets, but in my opinion, tempo really means getting ahead on board and staying ahead on board, and doing what you can to stay ahead on board faster. That's what tempo means. But people think when they say, "How do you like my tempo deck?" What they show you is like a Delver of Secrets, Protect the Queen style deck, and that's just not, in my opinion, what tempo means. every deck in Magic is a tempo deck, because every deck in Magic, with some exceptions like hard combo decks, are just trying to get ahead and stay ahead, and that's what tempo is, you know. Winning games with this deck seems painful. What's painful about it? Just how slow it is? So just not combo ramp. Ramp is definitely tempo. Ramp is very much a tempo strategy, just trying to get permanents ahead of your opponent, you know. So it's really just like, I would even say that you could call some combo decks tempo. They have elements of tempo to some degree. Tempo is more of like a concept than an archetype, I should say. Tempo is like a card advantage in the sense that it's just like a concept that is part of games of Magic, rather than any deck being a tempo deck. Every deck, for the most part, has elements of tempo. So you see me just saying the word tempo over and over again, and I hope that you see why I've come to hate the word. Just has lost all meaning. I don't want to get a dual land necessarily because of Ice-Fang's Death Touch conditions. Although if I draw a Skyclave Apparition, I'll probably get like a Hallowed Fountain here. Wow, the playset. Yeah, I think that we're just not going to have a problem getting enough snow permanents into play with the full playset. Would I recommend more Soul Herder with or without Vial? I tend to like Soul Herder with Vial, although my latest Mana Leak is kind of surprising. My latest like draft of 80 cards Soul Rider is not playing any Vials. I'm playing like 2 Abundant Growths, I think. Can't remember exactly. So we can get Basic Island and then Prairie Stream here. Or Basic Forest and then Prairie Stream. Dude, Copter is so good for us. I'm gonna hold the Ephemerate. I want to add some discard spells to my counterspell deck, and someone told me don't play well. Can you explain why? Yes, discard spells are inherently tempo negative, Lockharts. And counterspells require you to be tempo positive. Yeah, one hard thing about these like conversations about ideas in Magic is that everybody does have kind of different definitions about a lot of these things. You know? Alright, so I think I'm gonna get, if we get Forest, we can't cast this Cryptic. I'll get Island. Can I give you your thoughts on Temporal Adept? I don't know what Temporal Adept is, so I have no thoughts. Alright, no Island Walker, please. I mean, even if they do, we can still block the Copter. Could have maybe looted into one, but did not. Thank goodness. Oh. Ooh. Yikes. Probably gonna just Venser this turn. Temporal Adept is a cool card. I've never read it before. Very cool card. Oh yeah, why didn't their Mutavault die? It should still be a snow permanent, right? No, their Mutavault did die. Okay, this is a new Mutavault. Okay. I got chat lethal. Okay. Whew. Okay, they're not firing up Mutavaults. Or sorry, Smuggler's Copter. So I think I'm going to bounce their Mutavault. I don't want to bounce the 2-drop because they can just Violet back in. And I'll go for the block on the Mistbinder, I think. No, I won't. They have an Island Walker. Fine. I mean, if we tap their team and draw a card, then they just crew their Copter. I guess they can't crew their Copter, and because then it gets tapped. They do fire up the Mutavault. We could Uro to go up to 9, and then Ephemerate Venser. It's not good enough, really. Yeah, I'm not sure how we get out of this. I think I'm gonna try to like fog with Cryptic this turn. Been a good match. We could maybe tap their team and bounce Vile. That way they can't just like Vile a Lord back in when we bounce it. That's maybe, you know, the key piece of this puzzle. I think that's the line. Plays Botanical Sanctum. Alright, we did do a counterspell, did do a lot of different things. If Nikachu crews in response, then the Copter also gets tapped, but post Cryptic Command, Nikachu can crew the Copter off of Mutavault or can just attack with the Mutavault. Mutavault is more damage, but with the Copter, Nikachu gets a loot. Yeah, well, they can't kill us is what I guess I'm trying to say. Just haven't been able to get like any breathing room this game, really. Cryptic to Fog is just not gonna do it. I found the line. Uro, Ephemerate, Uro. I mean, that just gains a 6 and we're take like 12. We have a ton of cantrips too in the deck. Playing against taxes, interesting. So they play an Arbiter. We have kind of an interesting decision. I think we just have to get a basic forest. That way the Prairie Stream can enter untapped. Because we can't play a tap land. We just get Ghost Quarter next turn. Would I like a standstill reprint into Modern? No. No, I wouldn't. I've been going through watching Darkest. I'm not familiar with Darkest Mage, so no. Guess not. No, yeah, no. Fran is unironically all. I think and maybe it is a joke and I'm just not in on it, but I'm pretty sure Fran just thinks every deck should play 28 to 29 lands at the least. Weird. I thought they were gonna violent another Arbiter. What was that about? I kind of want to go to Teferi, bounce their Vial here. They didn't play a land, so I'm not like very afraid of them having a Ghost Quarter. They could have Stoneforge Mystic, but they can't Arbiter. Yeah, they don't have anything. Could just Teferi bounce the Vial again. I think I'm going to play an Uro instead. And not maybe I will Ephemerate Uro. Feels kind of close. I think it's fine. Just getting lands into play against Death and Taxes seems somewhat worthwhile. I'm gonna play the Prismatic Vista instead of the Misty Gate. That way, if I draw another fetch land, I only have to pay once for Arbiter. And then we could even escape Uro if we wanted to. Don't have another basic forest in the deck. They've already ghost quartered my second copy. I don't think I don't think I missed a land drop there, did I? Maybe I did. I think you're right. I think I did, actually. Oops. I think we'll just go Uro and then Teferi bounce the Vial. I'm the opposite of the 2 Explorers guy. I got 2 Explorers and I just didn't play the extra land. Second Giver is terrible for us. Although we get to force the Vial on the way down. I'm so angry that they're attacking with this Giver. I'm so angry. Seething. Why would you, like, break up your double Giver lock? It's so good to have 2 untapped Giver Verns. I legitimately don't know his name as Spoke. Why no Verdict in the sideboard? I mean, maybe it's just a meme at this point, but this is a very creature heavy deck. You know, Verdict is not something that comes at no cost because we're not playing creatures. We have a ton of removal too with the Skyclaves and the Ice-Fangs and, you know, the paths and the way I built it, we have paths and Onthanize in the board instead. But it's not like, you know, people just love Supreme Verdicts. They think it should go in every single blue deck. And I just have never thought that way, really.
She's just been sitting outside.
Outside the room?
Yeah, just laying outside the room.
It's cute.
I thought it was because I was showering, but no, she was laying outside this room.
I'm really glad we got to punish our opponent for attacking with this Giver. So this is the matchup. This matchup is the reason why I'm not that in on Onthanize. Onthanize is, you know, not that good against them. They have Skyclave Apparition and like a lot of Ghost Quarters. I think I want to play 1, however, over the 3rd Remand. I also don't hate Tails End against them, I suppose. Play 1 Tails End, 1 Remand. Yeah, our opponent could not get a land because of Lead and Arbiter. That's why we path there. Lead and Arbiter is a symmetrical effect. Yeah, but we have 18 creatures in our deck. Like, Verdict is certainly not... It's just not a free card to play. I'd rather just have more spot removal. Especially because we already have so much spot removal already. I'm going to keep this. Like, mana-heavy hands are usually fine against taxes. Winds of Abandon. I'm not very high on the card Winds of Abandon. You know, it's a 2-mana sorcery speed removal spell that gives your opponent a land. Oh, it scared me. Ah, gosh. Shab, I've been working on a similar deck to my gift sprue. If you don't mind taking a peek. Sure. Sure. Give me a second. I'm still not used to the new alert sound. So I actually did play Bant before I played Sultai, and I see that you are also playing Bant. People have suggested playing Yorion. I'm not super into Yorion if you don't have like a lot of synergies with its ETB ability. Oh, this is actually 4 color. And I don't see a ton of synergies. I see like 2 Wall of Omens and a Skyclave Apparition. I guess it's okay with Teferi as well. I also am not super high on being in on like a million Planeswalkers when you are on gifts. I think I would, especially in Yorion, I think you should play 4 gifts and Given, and maybe go down on Planeswalkers. Also, like the whole Burial Rites for Elishnorn plan, I feel like it's not even that good against like so many decks. It just doesn't seem that good to me. You know, it's like I'm not sure against like what percentage of decks Gifts on Burial Rites for Elishnorn is. It feels like it's like less than 50%, and if that's the case, it seems to me that you maybe just don't want to main deck the Burial Rites, and that's kind of the conclusion I came to when I played Bant, and the deck did seem better to me once I had cut the Rites plan from the main, and then I ended up just not even liking it that much in the sideboard anyways. One card I did like as a target was the Sphinx of the Steel Wind. I found that card to be pretty good. So those are my thoughts. Play the 4th gifts. Probably cut a Jace or 2. Okay, opponent's playing a Lurrus deck. I'm going to keep this. Oh, whoops. Ugh, I didn't realize I won the die roll. For whatever reason, I thought I was on the draw. This hand's way better on the play. I have my headphones in, so I couldn't hear you sneeze. I bless you. But Spike, how could you have... You heard her say bless me, but you didn't hear her sneeze? What? It's weird how that works. Yeah, it's real weird. I should probably get it tested, right?
Right. I mean, the easy. It's just.
Ouch! Stop! You know how sensitive my ears are.
You know how sensitive my ears are.
But not a meme. You know they are. I had a lot of ear infections as a kid, so I have really sensitive ears. And Esther, for whatever reason, will just prod my headphones while they're in, and they're very, very sensitive. Would love if they just played a Scourge and I got to Uro and kill it. Oh, no way. Okay, I mean, they could have a burn spell, of course. I just love it when a plan comes together. Seems like a good matchup. Okay, maybe this Uro card's pretty good. It gains life, Gaining life is great. Might see an opponent concede to my Ice-Fang block. Yeah, these decks have been playing a lot of Hexdrinker. Hexdrinker is nice because it's a 1-mana creature that makes it to where you can cast Scourge on turn 2. To play Scourge, you need to have a density of burn spells and 1-mana creatures, and this deck is choosing to play Hexdrinker over a card like Monastery Swiftspear. So they're not going to go for the Drinker yet, which is fine. We can just bounce it next turn. Or Ephemerate it. Oh, we don't. Yeah, we actually don't have enough blue to Cryptic. So glad we found this. I think I'm gonna Eternal Witness back a fetch land here. Hey Archmage, how's it hanging? How's your semester going? weird that they would Spellbomb now instead of in response to the Eternal Witness. Maybe they just have a removal spell for Witness. Are we supposed to block this illusion token? Okay, don't even have to think about it. I will counter a removal spell here. Never mind, never mind. We could bounce the Witness and then draw a card. I think I do want to do that. It is pretty vulnerable to another removal spell, I guess. Quick name all 4 modes for Primal Command. Gain 7 life, shuffle target player's life total, search your library for a creature card and put it into your hand, and put target non-creature permanent on top of its owner's library. I cast Primal Command last Thursday a couple times. What percentage of the time is chat's advice helpful versus hurtful? Helpful 100% of the time. Hurtful 0% of the time. Chat is always right. And all their suggestions are good. Could have maybe played around Inquisition by getting Cryptic Commands. Opponent's like kind of pulling back. Fran, where are you? Should we add a land to the deck, Fran? You think we should add a land to the deck, Fran? Oh no, we could maybe add a... I guess I'll block. Nah. Just add Field of the Dead. That's the big brain play. Yeah, Fran never says maybe we should take a land out when I'm flooding. Always says add a land when I'm getting mana screwed. No justice. We have lots of good draws here. That's definitely one of them. Although we are if I had just taken the trade, we could have escaped Uro. We can still draw a fetch land and escape Uro. But wisely goes for the spell bomb, but we did draw Cryptic. Oh, actually, Fran is a member of Twitch chat, so that does mean Fran's suggestions can't be bad. They have to all be good and helpful, so it's a bit confusing. But I think it checks out. Yeah, if they escape Scourge, we just get to kill it with Uro, so, or play Scourge. I don't know why I said escape. Just thinking about Uro. Yeah, we'll get to escape Uro and Time Warp, which will be a good turn. Yeah, I really, really like that Mystic Gate lets you escape Uro off of basic planes. That's, again, one of my favorite parts of this deck. Alright, let's do the Time Warp for the first time, and then hopefully we get to do the Time Warp again. Let's do the Time Warp again. It's just a step to the left. Oh, now it's been so long. Is it a jump to the right? I can't remember. Or is it jump to the left, then step to the right? I think that's it. Alright, I think I should have attacked with the Ice-Fang, but we have infinite turns. Have the infinite turn combo. So let's go for it. If they kill my Witness, we can remand the Ephemerate and then Ephemerate the Witness again. Rocky Horror was at the drive-in and I missed it. Dang it. Howdy, Schmapitalism. I've done a few Rocky Horror songs for karaoke in my time. It's been a while, though. Of course, it's been a while. But me and my friends used to do karaoke, like, basically every week. It was a lot of fun. I hope one day to be a karaoke master again. And by karaoke master, rely on my charisma and kind of goofier songs rather than my singing ability. What you eating?
I had milk cereal.
We can milk Athena, maybe.
What is wrong with you?
Why go to the store when we can... I got Athena to milk. I feel like that was funny.
I think that was a very bad joke.
I thought it was good. No, it was infinite turns, Deem. It was literally infinite turns. Oh, sorry, I guess you're right. It's not infinite turns because we're going to deck ourselves eventually. Is that the joke? But you, for those of you who don't know, you cast Time Warp, you Ephemerate a Tournament Witness, get back Time Warp, and then when the Ephemerate rebounds, you get your Ephemerate back with Witness, and then you can cast a Time Warp every turn. Bean has redeemed a pet Athena. An excellent time to pet Athena while she's distracted looking at Esther's food. Opponent looks at my hand and maybe is regretting their decision to play their deck. I think I'm getting Temple Guarded on turn 1 here. No second land is nice. Could have also maybe gone Island Mystigate and then just like knock on below 20. It's possible that was better. WK, you've redeemed Spike Puts on a Hat. An excellent day to do so. Because we have a new hat. Although maybe this is not the right day to unveil it because I'm not playing Shark Typhoon. Maybe, what if we do it like, what if we, hold on, before we tighten it, what if we, it's better to angle it, right?
I think so.
Yeah,
that way they can see it.
Yeah.
I mean, do you need to
Welcome,
tighten it,
Spikelings, to the Shark Typhoon. I think it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's on like the loose.
It's not like I need to have it stay on all day.
Yeah. That's the loosest it is anyways. It's so cute.
Esther bought it for me. The best gift I've ever received. So they sack the Spellbomb, which means they're not going to get a token. I need to change that.
Change the audio?
Yeah, because of the DMCA stuff. I had to change all my notification sounds. Yeah, we got a new hat, new jokes. We're growing. Growing as a stream.
DMCA, you said? What's that?
It's like the YMCA, but they get angry about copyright.
Is that from, where's that music from?
Naruto. Yeesh.
So they angry about all your Naruto?
They're not. They haven't. No one said anything to me, but people have been getting banned for having similar alerts. Yeah. So we're playing it safe because I can't go back to IT. I can't do it.
Would they even take you back?
Probably not. Which is maybe why I can't do it. You know.
You know what?
She wants you to take her outside.
I already took her this morning.
This is between you and her. Fran, should we add another land, Fran? Every time I flood out, I'm gonna DM Fran. Fran, do you think we should add a land? Look at this. Look at how many lands I'm drawing. Fran!
Athena, I took you already, and I am just wanting to eat breakfast.
I mean, the opponent has 6 spells in their hand, and we only have 1. It's a good draw, though. Is that lady talking also an MTG streamer? Maybe she fancies herself as one. But, no. What? That wasn't funny. Do we go for the combo here?
I am not just a lady.
I know you're not just a lady. I was reading chat. You're the lady. And if we just draw an Ephemerate, we win.
I exist. I exist. I'm here. I'm not just a soundbite. I exist.
Okay. I don't want to go below 20 because of Scourge. Can you take her out again? Alright, that's the Ephemerate. Alright, they could have another Surgical. Probably should have attacked first.
I wanted to get milk.
How does he do it? Guess our opponent doesn't know they're dead. Alright, so we are 6-2 on the day. So do just like sea monsters, so I am happy to own this hat. I'm gonna keep this. Let's put back one of the fetches, I guess. Could keep a second fetch to try to escape Uro a bit easier. Downside is, of course, paying more life, but I guess I'll put back a forest. How much mana? Of course, I spent 6 mana to hard cast the hat. Another Bloodstained Mire deck. Do I have more fun playing this deck or any of my other decks? I mean, this is like a pretty fresh brew, and I've been playing, you know, like Jeskai and Miracles and Stoneblade a lot lately. Well, this deck is like kind of fresh off the printer. But this deck has been very fun to play today so far, and it's felt pretty good. I think I mostly just have fun playing a variety of different decks rather than the same deck every single day. Please just play a Scourge. Please just play a Scourge. It's kind of what it looks like. Maybe they'll play like 2 Shadows. We just played this matchup and it seemed very good to me. Alright, so I'm going to fetch a basic island to try to fuel Uro a bit here. Definitely want to get basics because we have Ice-Fang. That Geist deck, that was also Burn deck. I think I still have that list. It's in the Stream Decker regime. It's in the Stream Decker and on Twitter. You have to do a bit of digging for either one. Can we donate them in Uro? Yeah, what if Uro said target player gain 3? Then maybe Uro would be playable in Modern. But until then, it's just kind of a fun pet card I'm trying out. Yeah, this hat is brand new, Brady. We're unveiling it live right now. I don't know if I have the best angle. I feel like getting both eyes is pretty good, but probably a bit better to have the fin revealed. I hope that Uro, you know, maybe we could find some cool synergies where we could like discard it and escape it back for value. Could be good to trigger Revolt and cast Fatal Push. But, you know, right now it's just kind of a for fun pet card I'm playing. Opponent says, well, shall I go all in or not? That's the question. Opponent's definitely got bravado. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to say to that. Yeah, forgive me, master. I must go all in just this once. I mean, they would want to dismember the wall, right? Please just make a play, opponent. Please. Why dismember Uro? Why not dismember the wall? The Uro is dying anyways. I have a wall in play now. Let's just pretend you don't have path. What? You know what I do have, opponent? Is this wall that's going to make your Temur Battle Rage not lethal. Oh, they have a second dismember. That makes more sense. I'm glad my opponent spent 2 minutes on this. Yeah, I saw the good vaccine news. 20% effective. Pretty exciting. Although I also heard from a pretty high office in the land, though, that we were going to definitively get a vaccine before the election. Everyone was going to be vaccinated before the election. And it's weird that that hasn't happened yet. I don't know if it's just like a day or two behind, but he just kept saying, we're going to get a vaccine before the election. We're going to get a vaccine before the election. And it's funny how nobody even like pretended like they believed it, you know? No one even like pretended like that was a thing that could actually happen. Everyone just like, but on both sides just knew it was a lie and moved forward. It was so fucking funny. Just I didn't see a single person entertain the idea that the vaccine wouldn't happen. Why did my viewers drop to 200? Is it because I talked about a vaccine? What just happened there? Sometimes the numbers are weird, I guess. Surely I didn't lose half my audience for making a joke. I'm just gonna snap keep this. Yeah, it says 201 for me. I don't know. 10's perfect, right? Yeah, sometimes Twitch numbers just do that. They just kind of like spaz out. Not very common. I mean, this is very likely going to get to cantrip, right? Fran, should I add a land to the deck? I think you should add a land, Spike. I'm going to go into Fran's stream and I'm going to say, hey, I think you should take a land out of the deck. Yeah, of course, I'm the one issue voter of fracking. Uh-oh. He didn't cast a Discord. They didn't cast a Discord spell. Oh no.
I'm gonna go get some milk.
Okay. Hey, do you want to pick up Taco Bell?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, surprise me. Surprise me, but also I need a Baja Blast.
Okay.
Okay, I love you. Alright. I do think this hand is fine. Like, we have double champion, Veil Summer. Just rip a land. We're just flexing on our opponent, of course. We had the land the whole time. Gonna sack their spell bomb. Yeah, we did just bolt ourselves twice. We got a lot of life gain. Yeah, sometimes viewers get weird. I'm just gonna hide it so it's not distracting me. Thank you, Alan. Hope you're having a good day. I'm glad you. I did think the Faithless Brewing podcast turned out well. I was on the Faithless Brewing podcast this week. If you guys want to check it out, there's a link. Yeah, I think this doesn't happen very often, but every once in a while, I do just see the numbers kind of crash, kind of artificially. Maybe you could look and see if it. The last time I saw this happen, it was kind of happening like site wide, like everybody's numbers were just down. Yeah, sometimes it just does this. I don't know why or how. I don't know that anybody does. I just hit the numbers, so I'm not bothered by it. Oh, whoops. So if my opponent doesn't put another card type in the graveyard, the wall can block the Goyf, and Spellbomb keeps the card type number the same. Good to go to game 3. I think this is a very good matchup. yeah. If our opponent doesn't go all in, it's a good matchup. Sorry, Aspiring Spike. I must go all in. Just this once. This is the hat I wear when I go all in. So we've got another one lander on the draw. Does have 2 cantrips and Uro and double path, which are all very good. I think I could see keeping this. I think I'm going to send it back though. This hand's worse. Now we're going to 5. Now I would take that 7 card hand over this card hand, over a mold of 5. Our opponent's also gone to 6 though. We have plenty of good 5 card hands. Yeah, regime for me it still says like 178. I think that the counts are just buggy. Try not to pay too much attention to them. I think I'm gonna put back Teferi and Cryptic. Uro is very good against them if they don't have a graveyard hate piece. I kind of want to keep this as the snow permanent for Onto Nice. No, I don't know my opponent. It did happen as soon as I said the word vaccine. If my opponent doesn't play a creature, I'm not going to fetch. You gotta make them get you below 20, you know, when your opponent's playing Scourge. We could maybe fetch... Hold on. We could maybe fetch to try to kill their Scourge with Uro. Although now it's possible we just can, like, try to play and escape Uro at once. Not very likely that that happens, I suppose. I'm fine to just play this waiting game, though. Hit my land drops and stuff. Yeah, that's true. They can still sack the spell bomb in response to the trigger. Probably play 2 Ice Fangs end of turn here. I think my opponent probably has a Scourge. Are they going to sack spell bomb to cycle, try to hit a land? They maybe should have done that sooner. Ben Carson got COVID today? What a tragedy. If only there was anything he could have done to prevent it. I think I do want to play both Ice Fangs to just get the 2-for-1 value here. We'd also draw into Veil of Summer, I suppose. You're thinking of Herman Cain, Joe. I am assuming. Not too many Black Republicans. Yeah, and Herman Cain's Twitter account's still active. So weird. The slower the matches go, the more political the chat gets. It's just like a force of nature. If we draw a fetch land, we get to just force the spell bomb to get cracked for no value, which is nice. Alright, I think I'm just playing champion here. Yeah, forget the donkeys and the elephants. We've got the new party, the spikelings, and our symbol is the shark on the head. to symbolize the sacrifice we make to the Shark Typhoon, which is an eldritch horror that's been speaking to me. And what does this eldritch horror say when it gives me visions in the middle of the night? Hard cast me, Spike. Why not Uro into a champion? Because I think that makes my opponent get value off their spell bomb, which I'd rather avoid. I want to, like, next turn we can play Uro and they have to crack the spell bomb before the Uro goes to the graveyard. And their black mana is also pretty taxed too. Yeah, now voting for me is funny now that the election is over. But we'll know who's a Spikeling because they're all going to be wearing these shark hats on their head. So we want. Oh no. Oh no, I did the triggers wrong. I did the triggers wrong. Oh no. It's fine. It's not fine, but you know, we'll be okay. Really, this results in like an arrow from our hand being exiled when it didn't have to be. Yeah, I mean we do play counter spells. But Veil doesn't seem great against us. It's okay. This matchup seems very good. This matchup seems very good for us. When are we getting the Spikewing merch? I think never. Never has been the answer. I've given every time someone's asked. But I just don't... It probably would not be profitable at my current, you know, popularity or whatever. I don't think it would be a very popular seller. Opponent got a Plague Engineer. They cling to dust the Uro. Trying to figure out why the lighting looks so different. Is it the shark? I think it is the shark making things weird. Oh, I was probably supposed to ephemerate in response to try to draw Cryptic. Also get to gain a life. Yeah, it was a bit of a misstep there. Yeah, I think I want to try to get another bounce off of this. So I'm not going to play my other Teferi very aggressively. I also think that I will trade Ice-Fang for Plague Engineer if they attack. If I wanted to try Modern Leagues but only had 150 tickets to spend on a deck, what would I play? Probably Hardened Scales. Zombies is also decent and that's also pretty cheap. Not sure if it's 150 tickets cheap. Nobody cared who I was before I put on the hat. Kind of a weird hand, but I'll keep. Uh-oh. We did get lucky to beat Tron earlier today. Don't think Tron is a very good matchup, although... Is it true that white border Tron pieces are like almost always Eldrazi Tron for some reason? Eldrazi Tron seems like a much better matchup. I think we're supposed to play Teferi and plus. We can bounce the Chalice next turn and unlock some of these 1-mana spells potentially. Oh no, let's bounce the map. Yeah. And then they can't replay it because of the Chalice. They probably just have Tron. Yeah, they do. They took the Uro. Not too surprising. I think I'm just holding up Cryptic here. Let my Teferi die. I mean, the fact that they played Chalice on... They had a map, but they decided to play Chalice instead of getting their third Tron piece was, I think, just a definite indicator that they had Tron. Just counter draw. You know, one of our opponent's 3 cards are map, and they definitely have shown some weakness here, so I think I'm fine to Cryptic. Their hand is now Expedition Map Mystery card. Seems like that Mystery card ain't too good. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pass it back one more time. We could go Teferi, bounce map, and then pass, but then that just lets them get a value land off of their Expedition map. Okay, so let me cycle Remand. I think this is a bit better than our other options here. All right, we'll go ahead and unlock the map for them, I suppose. If I don't draw a land, I'll path now to try to find one off the Thought Not Seer trigger. Cool. I'm not going to force Expedition map. I'm going to save it for a Karn or an Ugin. If they get Tectonic Edge, I'm not that bothered. If they still play the card draw land, that if you have no cards in hand, you can draw a card. It's pretty bad. But Cavern's not. I'm not that scared of Cavern. They do get Tectonic Edge, which is it is good here to get my breeding pool, but it's also just not the end of the world. And I'm going to force this. And I guess I'm going to pitch the Uro because they're about to get us off of green mana. Huh. I was definitely expecting them to try to tech edge me off of green. Wall of Omens lines really nicely. Lines up very nicely against Matter Reshaper, of course. So they probably have like Dismember as their last card. But we get to play around that with Ephemerate. And they can't Dismember in my instep because we have a fun Raveler. So I suppose this was just a bluff attack then. But I can't really imagine in what world we are not taking the block. Guess we got punished for... Yeah, we got punished for not responding to the... Or responding to the draw card trigger. This is fine. We get to, draw 3 more cards, and then maybe Time Warp and Ephemerate again. Don't know why my opponent just didn't use the Tech Edge. A bit weird. Yeah, maybe they're holding it for Field of the Dead. I think that is a good read. But that card is not in my deck. Although, like, with the Mystic Sanctuary, does kind of imply Field of the Dead, I think. So now, once we draw an Eternal Witness, the game ends. Because we get to take infinite turns. Or the game ends off of just the Ice-Fang. Alright, nice to win game 1 against E-Tron. I do really like Venser against E-Tron usually. Skyclave is fine against them and handles. Yeah, Skyclave's good. It gets Chalice and Ballista and Karn and Reshaper and Thought-Knot Seer. It does miss Smasher and Ugin, but I still think we probably want the full 4. I do like Onthanice a bit more than Path against them. It's like better against Matter Reshaper and Smasher, but a bit worse against Thought-Knot Seer because you can't respond with it. Maybe I'll play like just a 2-2 split. We'll see what else we want to cut, I guess. Yeah, the rest of the deck seems fine. You can trip like a Wall of Omens. I'm not that high on Tails End against Etron, but I really like it against Mono Green. I think Remand is fine. I think Remand's fine against them. I think I'm going to cut Teferis, actually. Tech Edge does not destroy Onthanice because it's only Onthanice only enchants basics and Tech Edge only hits non-basics, but they do have Blast Zone. I mean, Remand still hits a decent amount of spells even if they have Cavern. Okay, I'll keep this. We have the answer to the turn 2 Matter Reshaper, so I'm feeling pretty good. So I'm anticipating a turn 3 Thought-Knot Seer here off of an Eldrazi Temple, so I'm going to hold up Remand for that. They got Urza's Mine. A bit weird. So let's Remand this and hope they replay it and we get to Skyclave the map. Oh, they just have 2 maps. I guess I don't need to be fetching now, huh? Yeah, I'll just Wall of Omens, and I may path my own Wall of Omens. Okay, we can Skyclave the Karn. So, and if we path our own wall, we can go Uro into Skyclave next turn. They get a Sundering Titan, though. Which is going to be very tough to beat. Without us drawing, like, a Remand or a Cryptic Command here. Yeah, I think we just have to let them Sundering Titan us, unless we draw Remand off the Uro. Morning Lamp, or afternoon. Yeah, afternoon. You think I wanted to keep the Forest in hand and just let them only hit 2 lands with the Titan? It's interesting. I mean, we don't want to pass Sundering Titan. Sundering Titan has a Leaves play trigger. Yeah, new hat, Todd. New hat. Taco Bell is closed. They have a gas leak. Things just keep getting worse and worse. This is so sad. That's good, Archmage. Just tell them to take the customers out of the bathroom. Yeah, I gotta end the stream, guys. I got things I need to deal with now. Damn it. Going to 5. Everything just keeps getting worse. Why concede? What? Most... Is that a joke? We couldn't cast a single spell and they get untapped with Tron, and we can never deal with the Sundering Titan or we lose. Relic is really good against our hand too. Probably actually supposed to get Temple Guard in. Venser plus Ephemerate is like about as good as it gets in this matchup, so I'm happy to have drawn that. Do we want to get our second planes for Skyclave Apparition, or do we want to get a third blue for Cryptic, or a second green for Uro and Eternal Witness? No, we don't have any of these cards in our hand, of course. Eternal Witness isn't very good right now. I think I'm just going to get a third blue for Cryptic. And if I hit a land, I think I'm not going to Ephemerate my Uro, but if I do hit a land... If I hit a land, I won't Ephemerate because I want to Ephemerate Venser next turn, but the fact that we just don't have that guaranteed makes me want to Ephemerate the Uro here. It's also nice that they can't dismember my Uro and have the Uro die to fizzle the Ephemerate in this spot. Cool, we found a dual land, so now we can get a Temple Garden and our mana's good. Less good with the Tech Edge, I suppose. Get a Liquid Metal Coating. You're pretty interested in Vensering 2 lands on upkeep. I mean, I think we would go for Mind Stone plus a land, but I think I would rather, in my opinion, Ephemerate my Ice-Fang, get to attack Karn, and if we find a land in like the top three draws, we get to hold up Venser. But now instead we've drawn Remand, which is not as good, but still kind of fine, I think. We could get real greedy and cast Wall of Omens here, looking for a land. Let's not do that. In retrospect, was Oopsal Spells the deck to bring to the showcase? I think Sodek had a really good list. I kind of feel like more so Sodek had a real good list rather than Oops was the deck to bring. I think if we miss on Wall, it's just so bad. Sodek won with Oops All Spells. Sodek, what I liked about Sodek's list is Sodek wasn't playing Belcher on the side, which I liked a lot.
Do you want that sandwich? Hot dogs or salad?
The sandwich.
Okay.
Doing well, Whoop. We're in game 3 against Etron. We're currently 3-1 in the league. They're gonna 2/2 Ballista me. Do I want to cycle Remand? I think no. Thank you, sweetheart. We multiply this game. Things are shaping up pretty well for us. They let the Karn go to 1. We Skyclave the Ballista. Yeah, I think we... One thing I like about Skyclaving the Ballista is that it puts a little bit more pressure on their relic. It's not like a big thing. Yeah, sorry about the crinkle, guys. Just gotta eat the sandwich. And then the Skyclave, you know, pressures the Karn for next turn. I use a rental service Wavelink, so I don't really have control over it. Alright, so let's see if they play around basic forest. They do. I have a weird position. Cryptic Command was a good top deck. I usually like the Return to Ravnica block arts for the Shocklands because that's when I started playing Magic. Was there a world where attacking was right? Yeah, I think attacking is actually pretty good before playing the forest because we can make them sack the relic. So now, I mean, they have to tap their relic right now. Okay, they remember to. And now we can maybe exile the Reshaper and start beating down. We have a lot of answers to Chalice, and we don't have a 1-drop in our hand. We even have an answer to Chalice in hand, so don't think we need to answer that so aggressively. Okay.
How many hot dogs is too many hot dogs?
I can't remember the number from the sketch.
I think it was like 7 an average. But the real question is how much mustard is too much mustard?
I don't know. Alright, here's a play that I think is going to work. I knew this would work! I knew this would work! I knew it! Oh my gosh. That's so cool. I knew they would be so confused. They would be so confused that they wouldn't exile their relic in response. Hell yeah. It's a flawless plan. So I had Uro and 4 other cards in my graveyard. My opponent had already tapped their relic. And they had a Chalice on 1. So I cast On Thin Ice into the Chalice, which triggered. And I just knew my opponent would think, they've made such a dumb mistake. They played into my Chalice. I'm so smart. I have a Chalice of the Void. And then I just get to escape Uro. You know, maybe I don't make that play at a PT or something, but it was a pretty fun play. Or we're 8-2 on the day, feeling pretty good, Would love to get a trophy with this deck.